Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about how to become a graphic designer in 2022. So a lot of people think that you might need a degree, you might need to do all of these courses, but it is very simple to become a self-taught graphic designer, especially if you have a creative eye. And I know that there are so many people wanting to do side hustles this year or maybe learn a new skill. And graphic design is a great way to earn some extra income, and there are so many different revenue streams that you can get through graphic design. So I'm going to be telling you how to become a freelance graphic designer, what you need, how to get started, and how to get clients. Before we get into the video, if you're new here, my name is Shah. I'm a branding and web designer based in the UK. And if you like watching videos about graphic design, or if you want a bit more of a glimpse into my life, then don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. So before you do anything else, you want to figure out what kind of graphic designer you want to become. There are so many different options. So I started out doing social media graphics and marketing assets, and then I transitioned into branding and website design. You could become a product designer, you could become an animation designer, you could become a packaging designer. There are so many options. So I would kind of have a look through them and see what stands out to you, what interests you the most, and go from there. So once you figured out what kind of graphic designer you want to be, the next thing to do is focus on software and learning how to use the software. So the industry standard for graphic designers is usually the Adobe Suite. Now, if you're a UX designer or a web designer, you can use something called Figma, which is free to use. I haven't used it myself. I'm more of an Adobe girl, so I have more experience with the Adobe side, but Figma is an option if you want to get started for free. So the Adobe Suite can be a little bit pricey. If you're a student, you get, I think it's around 60 to 65% off. I could be wrong, but I think it's around there, which is a huge discount if you're a student. And if you're not, there are a few ways around it. So what I did is I signed up to a course called Logo Core. I think it was around $60 or $70. I will link it down below. But what that is a course basically which teaches you how to use the Adobe Suite. I think it focuses more on Adobe Illustrator, which is really good. It was a really in-depth course and I really recommend it. But another advantage of that is that through the course, you're then eligible for the student discount. So you get 60% off. So you're spending $60, $70 on the course, but you end up having so many savings with the 65% off. So I think for me, it ends up being about £16 a month. That's British pounds, so convert that to wherever you're from. So a great way to learn the Adobe Suite software, or any software for that matter, is through courses, online courses. Like I mentioned, Logo Core is really great for Adobe Illustrator, so I really recommend that if you want to learn Illustrator. There are also so many others online, and I think they're pretty inexpensive for what you get. You can have a look at Skillshare or Coursera, or even just YouTube. There's so many free resources on YouTube. I can leave a few YouTube channels down below that I think are really useful. But what really helped me when I first started out was going through Pinterest, finding some designs that I like, and then recreating that exact design on Illustrator or Photoshop and just YouTubing the tutorials as I go. I feel like it's a lot easier to learn by doing rather than watching a course, if that makes sense. Okay, so once you've got the hang of the software, you can get started on creating your portfolio. So when you start reaching out to potential clients, they're going to want to see your work before they start working with you. So it's important to have a portfolio of designs to see if you could be the right fit for them. And you're probably thinking, before you build up your portfolio, you need clients to start doing the work, but that's not the case. You can first of all start by asking friends or family if they need any design services done that you could provide them for free, or you could create your own projects. You could come up with your own designs and add them into the portfolio. If you're struggling with ideas, you could even redesign an existing product or service. And also a little tip for you is think of the kind of clients you want to work with and make projects that are similar to the types of clients that you want to work with. Also, when you're making work for your portfolio, you can always post that on social media or create a website and post it on there for people to find you. That also ties me into my next point, which is marketing yourself. So obviously, once you've got the hang of the software, you've created your portfolio, you now need to get the clients. So one way you can do this is through social media. You can create an Instagram page for your designs and post regularly on there. It's really good to reach out to people, especially if you have a niche and you know exactly who your ideal clients are. You can Engage with them on social media so that they know that you exist and get your name out there. Another thing that you can do is create on-brand reels talking about your designs, your design process, or just any kind of fun gifs about being a designer. That gives you great exposure and it lets people know that you're a designer and that you can work with them. You can also go down the route of paid ads. What I recommend for this is having a really strong website. And if you can't make one yourself, then maybe hire someone that can make that for you. But it's going to be the first thing that people land on when they see your ads. And if that stands out to them, if that looks amazing to them, then they're going to trust you that little bit more and want to reach out to you. I would also even say to expand, not just Instagram, you could create a TikTok, you could create a YouTube channel, you can make a Facebook page. The more things that you have to get exposure, the better it is for you. Another thing that I know people have had really good success on is places like Upwork and Fiverr, where you can find postings of jobs that people need your help for. I personally haven't tried this myself, but I do know that there have people that have been really successful doing this kind of thing. The only thing I would say to be careful with on there is because there are so many designers on there already, people are likely to price shop. They're not likely to look for the best designer. They're likely to look for the cheapest designer, which if you're starting out shouldn't be too much of an issue. But as you grow, you might want to step away from that and focus more on social media or focus more on building your website and paid ads. All of those options being said, I 100% don't think you need to spend any money on paid ads whatsoever. That's just one route you can go down, but you definitely can get clients just through organic social media and posting regularly on there. Also, another way to find clients is through utilizing your network already. You could ask your friends and family, you could get your friends to ask their friends, you could ask your family to ask their friends, and just get your name out there and let people know that this is what you're doing now. Even just posting that you've started graphic design on your personal accounts, you never know who may need some graphic design work. So the next phase is actually working with clients. Now, this is a bit of a long subject and I might go into it in a whole other video, but essentially you need some kind of contract before you start working with anyone. It's so important to have because people could stop paying you, they could stop replying to you and just run away once you've done the work. So make sure you have a contract in place before you even begin working with anyone, and make sure you have clear processes in place and a timeline that you can give your clients so they know what to expect and when to expect it from you. So those were my tips on how to become a graphic designer. You absolutely do not need a degree to get started. You can be a self-taught graphic designer like I am. And I know there's other graphic designers in my audience. So if you guys have any tips and tricks or any advice, just drop them in the comments below for other people to read. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I will see you in my next video.